guess what? It's just the Ska Kid. We're at Palace Station. You know, it was very, 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 very cold in the basement, so we decided to come upstairs because heat rises. We're so hot. Anyways, this is our last show here in this space. Next week, we will be in a new place, and we have Animal Factory coming. So we'll see how that goes. We gotta be moved, set up, and ready for a full band in a week. So, hey, cheers, we're crazy.
That's ambition.
We booked this, and we weren't certain if we were going to move, and then it was like, hey, we accept your offer. Holy shit, we'll figure it out. So we'll make it work. But Wolf is with us, one-man do-it-all-of-yourself band from Milwaukee. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You play everything that we just heard.
Yeah, I pretend to.
You pretend to? Well, it sounded like you did just fine. We know you, or met you, because you are the drummer of Beaker. So how did you transition from doing that to this solo project?
Well, I've been trying to do the solo project since like freshman year or something, and I'd never gotten around to it because like a couple years ago I could legit like not play guitar. I had recordings and I couldn't play live. I hadn't put the whole backing track thing together, and I was trying to find an actual band. And then scrolling through classifieds one day, I found Beaker was looking for a drummer, and I thought that would be cool. So I talked to Carl, and I've been in Beaker for like 3 years now or something.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's just kind of like two simultaneous projects. And last year was my first, actually I think December of 2018 was my first solo show.
Okay. So besides playing here, where else have you played?
Quarters, Bremen, Polish Falcon, and one other place. So basically, most of my solo performances have been within 3 blocks of each other.
Yay!
So very convenient.
So when you go out and you play at a venue, is it the same setup that we saw tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talk to us about that recording process. Laying down each individual track, and the song that we played on Tuesday night was Livid, and that says that you recorded everything and then it was mixed and mastered by someone in LA.
Yeah.
So how did that work?
So the guy who mastered it, went to high school with, Patrick O'Malley. He's really good at what he does, not just at audio engineering, but like everything. We in like 7th grade or something, we walked into a guitar store and he picked up a mandolin, like, hey, I might be able to play this. And like, he's like, hey, check this out. I figured out Stairway to Heaven on a mandolin. And I was like, crap, I can't even play bass, you know? But yeah, so he's really good, and he moved out to LA to pursue that as a career, and he's doing it, which is super cool. So when I put my first album together, he was the obvious choice to take it from sounding pretty good to like, computable with other, published audio. So
it's very good. I mean, and your performance matches what your recording was, which is great.
That's good. I try to make it sound similar. So
will there ever be a time where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna play drums and sing and have the rest of it be backing?
Ooh, that would be interesting. But I'm pretty erratic with drums. I've tried recording to a click track. Didn't work out so well. So it's a goal of mine. But yeah, I think singing has always been my goal. Mm-hmm. Trying to get better and play guitar while I'm doing it is, it's an ongoing struggle. Mm-hmm. But I actually hope to get a band together, mm-hmm. so I don't have to prepare, 3 other instruments worth of performance leading up to the show. So
I mean, it's really cool what you have right now, and if you made it a full band, what would push you into kind of auditioning for the other, like what would you look for as far as other parts? Like, instrumentation, and who would you want to play with you?
Anyone.
Anyone?
I don't. A lot of people I know are already in a band, or too busy, or work, or live a good ways away. I've been trying to get Squid.
Yes.
Squid's another solo artist. He just just does guitar and sing, and he's got like 2 hours worth of material. He's really good. I've been trying to get him as a guitar player, or a drummer. He plays everything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, he was Dorothy's Worst, basically.
Yeah, he was the drummer for Dorothy's Worst.
Yeah,
that's when I first met him.
That's how we met him as well, and then he broke off and did his solo thing, and we have that too. You can check it out if you go to the YouTube channel from Milwaukee Punk Fest. He played on the acoustic solo stage out in the beer garden.
Yeah.
And you guys have played that too.
Yeah, Beaker played last year in that side room.
Mm-hmm. Do you plan on trying to have this be something that goes out to fests?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to make this as prominent as I can.
How much does this kind of conflict with your other project?
Not too much. Beaker and Wolf actually were on the same bill at a show one time. So Beaker played, then I tore my kit down and put the speakers up, and then played a solo set. So what I learned from that experience is that you can't play a half hour of punk on drums and then successfully play a half hour of guitar.
Would you do it the other way? Do you think you could do it the other way?
I don't know. I think one performance a night is enough.
Gotcha.
But yeah, as of right now, it hasn't really conflicted. It's the other guys in Beaker are super cool about it.
I was gonna ask how supportive your other bandmates were, because sometimes that can be a spot of contention.
Yeah.
Egos get too high, and they're like, "Ew, why are you doing that? No, this
Yeah.
has to be our main focus." So as long
early 2000s.
as long as the other bandmates are cool with it. You had mentioned a little bit ago that you really couldn't play guitar just a few years ago. So you do pretty okay on said instrument. What got you to that level of musicianship?
Hoping.
Hoping and practice?
Practice. Yeah, practice.
Okay. I hope I can be this good as I do both.
Yeah. I just spent hours a day thinking man, it would be cool if I could play guitar, and one day it just came out. So I can play my own stuff. I don't play too many covers because
Mm-hmm.
doing other artists' work justice is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Where does your material come from? Tell us about what's your
influences. Muse? Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Motley Crue, ZZ Top. Stone Temple Pilots has been huge recently, last couple of years. Basically, when I was in middle school, I listened to a lot of Rush and Black Sabbath. So a lot of that was I think that discouraged me, because I was I was looking at Rush and stuff and thinking man, I want to play that, I want to write like that, and you just can't. Geddy Lee is too good of a bass player, and the other, Neil Peart, rest in peace, and Alex Lifeson, they're just such incredible musicians, and they're such great artists that one person can't put together that kind of orchestration. So over the years, I think I just started listening to really hard, heavy, more simplistic stuff, Motley Crue and whatnot, and my ideal sound is just straightforward, no bullshit, hard rock,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too complicated, because I can't play it.
You want fun 70s, 80s rock that allows for bras to be tossed at the stage.
Hey, that might happen. Yeah.
Because as we listened to Livid on Tuesday, I was like, holy shit, man, we need feathered hair and an acid wash jean jacket to be able to appropriately appreciate what is going on with the sound. But, I mean,
It's kind of funny.
but you nail it. Like, that's, for one person to produce the amount of sound in such a high quality as you have done, in such a short amount of time, is impressive.
I dig it like digging the frog.
Like Smacks? Can you dig it?
Sugar smacks.
So you kept kind of referencing while you were playing, like, this is from my first album. How many albums do you have?
One.
Okay, that's what I
I'm,
thought, because I'm like, wait a second, you mean, this, you could have just said my album, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. After I said, this is for my first album, I'm like, Jesus Christ, did I really just say that?
But you kept saying it too.
Yeah.
Because you kept throwing me, because I was like,
well,
wait a second.
I'm working on another one right now.
Wonderful.
And I guess I didn't bridge. This is from my first album. This is from my upcoming second album. Yeah.
What's going to be that you played tonight from your upcoming?
The first song, third song, and I forget the order. Broken Stone,
Okay.
Friends, and Monster.
Okay. I liked Monster. Very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
So
Gotta lower my vocal range to do it live though.
where, as far as like your lyrics, where do those come from?
Fuck if I know.
You just sit down and you write a poem and like that's it, you make it into music, or you're like, this experience happened to me, I'm going to write about it, or
I used to write really poetic shit, and I found one of my old notebooks a couple weeks ago, and my God, is it bad. I love it, but it's
why do you think it's bad?
I don't know, maybe it's just, remembering what I, was going through at that point, or maybe it's just because it was like, I don't know how I was thinking I was going to put this to a melody, It definitely had some weird phrasing going on, but I think lyrics usually kind of form in like a, usually when I'm in the middle of something, I'm like, I just thought of something really cool, I got to write it down, come back to it, finish the verse or the chorus or whatever, and you could say it's like writing poetry, except it always pops up out of nowhere, like in the middle of something, in the middle of a shift or something.
Do you write the music first and then the lyrics, or do you have lyrical content that you fit music around?
That's a good question. Everything on the first album, I wrote the music first, and then in thinking about what the music to me sounded like, at some point something would pop up and I'm like, oh, that sounds like it goes to that, to that song. But a couple of songs I'm trying to think if there's anything on the album that the lyrics came first. I try not to do that because it's usually harder for me to put that to music rather than to write lyrics to like a sound, like an attitude that I'm describing.
So now that we have cleared up that you have an album and one in the works,
one singular album.
Talk about that. Your one album that you have currently is
Oh How.
Oh How. I like it. And that is a full length?
I think it's 8 songs.
Okay.
I would think that's full length.
And we got the expert here, Mr. LP versus EP. I don't know what's the technical.
It depends on the length of said 8 tracks.
How long is it?
48 minutes. I think?
That's an LP.
Yeah.
That's
Limited,
you
right?
did it.
Long play.
What's the
EP's like 15 to 20, I think.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Extended play.
There you
Extended
go.
play, long play.
So then, this next album that you have, do you have an album name?
Yes, I guess. So this is the official album announcement.
You heard it here first.
It's going to be called The Originals.
Ooh.
It's a bunch of songs that have been written for a long time that I still think are actually pretty okay, and I want to put them out.
Awesome. So how long will this new album be?
I think actually pretty similar, like within like 3 or 4 minutes of the other of my first one.
Gotcha. So as far as like talking about news, and you heard it here first, when do you anticipate having new music for folks to listen to? Like, how far along in this process are you?
I'm pretty close to releasing something. I think next week I'm finishing up this first album cycle. Been kind of slow in it, but next week I'm releasing a music video, and then probably the week after that, or the week after that, I'm releasing my first single from it, and then the full album will be out in April.
And is it going to be the exact same where you recorded everything and then you sent it to LA and it's...
I'm not sure if I'll be able to send it to LA. Hopefully, because he does amazing work.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like $15 in my account right now. So, feels.
So you're getting food off the $2 menu instead of saying I'm worth it, it's $8. We understand. That was well placed.
God damn it.
Thank you.
You got all the effects, like the smoke machine, the horn.
So, with having your friend, mix and master it before, did he cut you a deal, or was it just like, no man, this is how much it is? Or how do you feel about that, like reaching out to friends for resources and them going, motherfucker, we all gotta eat?
Well, I don't know. I think, I think he gave me a good deal for what I paid, but I'm not gonna like ask him like, hey, can you just help me out? Because
right.
We do have to, I'm not gonna ask someone to do it for free or for $15 just because like, hey man, I know you, right?
Right. So then with this one, because you got $15, are you thinking of mix, mastering, and producing it all yourself?
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to come to that. Unless Patrick, you just got it in your heart.
It's a birthday gift. You could just throw that one out there, right? Just as Jesus forgave us for all of our sins, come April, you too should resurrect underground music and please help us by producing this album.
15 years of birthday gifts in this, yeah.
Right? Well, here's my view on that. Yes, I do think that you should support artists, okay? I do also think that sometimes when it is your friend, one hand washes the other. And if I ask you for help, the idea is that if I ask you for help and you say sure, then I'm promoting you as well because I'm sharing it with your name on it. And so that draw of hopefully drumming up more business might be more beneficial than the amount that you would pay initially to just have those few tracks recorded, right? Because if it's growth...
Yeah, to a certain degree, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fine line, and I understand that because, like, even us, we'll pay our artist friends for stuff. It's weird just having someone go, oh, here's this. Even when bands come through on Thursday night and they're like, here's all this free shit. I'm like, but you're on tour. Like, but we feed them, and we give them beer, and, like, we make sure that almost every single person who has come through this door has been able to set up a tour and go someplace else from this. So I feel like that kind of balances the I got a free shirt thing. Because all of that does cost money, and it has to come out of somebody's pocket. Kind of like when people front people. Hey man, you got me. Motherfucker, did you pay my electricity bill this month? I mean, like... there is nothing free anywhere. Ever.
So good you'll eat it with your hand.
So, do you have, I mean, when you are recording things, are you doing that just out of like your own home?
Yeah.
Cool.
Everything from the first album was done in the basement I was living in at the time.
Basements.
Wasn't living in a basement, the basement of the place I was renting. I haven't had to live fully in a basement yet.
Winning.
Blessed. And
Done it.
and so yeah, actually I think every single thing was recorded in that room, and then I mixed it, and everything was done in like a 15 by 25 foot space.
Huh.
This one I recorded. Carl was nice enough to let me lug my drums up into his attic, which is actually a really well, it's like a properly done attic. Like there's no gross, weird spaces in the walls or anything. It's, enclosed. It's proper walls and floors, and it's got a big arch ceiling.
Ooh.
So I was able to record drums in there, and the drums sound amazing. I'm so happy with it.
Good.
So, and then everything else I've been recording in my parents' basement right now.
Gotcha. So then, do you have like physical copies of your album, or how did you distribute it?
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I don't have any.
This is more for the viewing audience.
It's on Spotify now.
Okay.
You can find it on YouTube, Spotify. I think it just went up on Apple Music. So yeah, anywhere you can listen to music, you can find it. Listen to 15 Seconds, I would go, that was pretty cool. But I do actually have CDs, just not here with me, because, why would you bring physical copies of your music with you?
Okay, so here's the funny story about physical copies of music. We were at Bremen Cafe on the 31st of January, and the Scraps brought physical copies, to which most of the people were like, "You're really awesome," and they were like, "Hey, you want a CD?" And they're like, "What's that?" Not a joke, almost every single fucking person said that. And I was like, I don't have any clue what you just said to me. You all aren't poor enough to have a CD player? You're not punk rock.
I only made 12 of them.
And it was amazing that, like, legit, most people were like, I can't play that.
I don't own a CD player.
Oh my God.
Fuck?
And that's true. Like, most of the cars today don't have CD players.
That's fucked up.
They're $5.
I know, but like, that's the thing. You get in a newfangled car and you're like, I was like, where's the slit? There isn't one. You just plug the car like a
You gotta
phone
find
in.
the slit.
Yeah, where the fuck's the slit? Because I'm a 12-year-old boy.
It's an age-old struggle.
Oh, God. So did you make the CDs yourself, or were they made?
I had them made properly. I don't have the patience to try to
Wait a second. You have the patience to learn how to play guitar, sing, and record everything?
Yeah.
But you not make CDs. That's the easiest thing out of all of the things you do. You know that, right?
I got some fucked up priorities.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know, you're drinking Dr. Pepper. That's like sin.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
23 flavors.
I got
of
trauma
sin.
because of Dr. Pepper. You ever been beat and had to clean up shit that's frozen out of a freezer because it exploded and your mom wants drugs? Nope. Don't drink Dr. Pepper. It's sin.
Okay, I can understand that. I don't like you if it's when it came to that, but
All of them busted in the freezer. Go clean that up! Anyways, that turned out okay.
We have like previously let Dr. Pepper into the house. You're okay.
Yeah. I don't attack people. Also, I just don't drink it.
yeah, I don't know. It's in my opinion, it's the best soda out there.
Really?
Other
The
than-
23 ingredients that make it up?
Other than Fanta. Fanta's also really
Fanta,
good.
If you
Fanta.
try
Don't you?
Tab, it's just diet soda.
What?
Tab.
Ugh. All of this is gross.
It's
I
a
like
diet carbonated beverage.
Coke and ginger ale.
It was the
Those are my
Sas-
go-tos.
sarsaparilla and ginger beer.
Oh, sarsaparilla is really good, and ginger beer is pretty awesome as well. Sioux City, woo! They come in bottles, just so you know.
Anywho, enough about sodas.
We could talk for another 10 minutes about soda, actually.
So, Wolf, how did you come up with that name?
It's just my name.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought it'd be cool to come up with like a separate name, but I found myself had a list of like 40 names that all slightly differed from each other, and like none of this like really strikes a chord with me. Once I get a band together, that that might have a side name attached to it, but I've always just gone by Wolf, so
So it is.
So I just figured I'd go the same route as Ozzy and David Lee Roth and just be like, I'm important.
That's what the font is. Arial, Times New Roman, I'm important.
I like it.
I like
it a lot.
Where can people, besides the various platforms that you're on, are you on Bandcamp?
Yeah, actually, I'm on Bandcamp.
I have the patience to do that, but not make a CD. I'm gonna
That's
keep going back to
That's
this.
a good point, but see, the CDs look really good. I had.
Well, there's no proof, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Fuck me though. It's bad planning. I might have one copy in my car
It's
that I
the
meant to give
23
to
flavors fucking with your brain. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's the ADHD medicine I took for 3 years in elementary school.
Oh, this cute. Oh, too real. Oh, man. So, okay.
Is that close to home?
You're on Bandcamp. We'll get back to that. You're on Bandcamp. Are you on SoundCloud?
SoundCloud. Yeah, actually, I think I uploaded it to SoundCloud.
Because I know your YouTube stuff, which is what you... like, as far as directing people, where do you want to direct the most traffic to?
Oh, shit. YouTube.
Okay.
You can find stuff on SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, and Bandcamp. If you want some of those old shitty recordings I mentioned earlier, go to SoundCloud. I've got some really embarrassing older recordings of actually all three of the newer songs I played today: Broken Stone, Friends, and Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I really like them because like I was like trying to figure out how to play like the solos and just the song in general as I recorded it. And you can kind of hear that, like I would be halfway through a drum fill and it'd be like, keep going. And when I recorded it this time around, knowing how the song went, felt like it, it felt real robotic, almost. But the sound quality is pretty shit. So if I become famous, it'll be worth a lot. Oh, this is his first stuff, his first recordings, but it sounds like first recordings. I'm pretty much yelling into the microphone.
Sometimes that's better than not even getting there.
I'm disappointed in myself for not having earlier recordings, so that I can
like
track.
pre-recording.
Yeah, like 2010 recording.
10
I
years
was recording stuff in 2010, but I never sang to it because I listened back and I'm like, holy God, maybe I should just pursue being a drummer, But then I guess I hit this wave of confidence around like senior year for some reason, and so I like recorded some stuff and destroyed my voice in doing so, and you can hear that. But I kept it, put it up on SoundCloud, and I just decided to not take it down because it's a good reminder. It's a good way to pace myself how far I've come. This is, I think that's valuable as an artist.
So then how long have you been in the music scene? Like playing music out and about and doing that sort of thing?
Probably 5-6 years. I played drums in an old school like country band for like a year, and then that stopped pretty abruptly for some reason. But then Beaker, I found that Beaker ad like a couple months later. But yeah, I graduated high school in 2014. I haven't been around really long enough to be in bars and playing out. So Beaker is like the first really good band I've been performing with consistently.
Did you record anything that they've done? Like, do they go to you to do that? Or like that's a whole separate entity?
Beaker?
Yes.
Well, actually, Beaker is. We just released, and released is a very flexible term here because we forgot to upload it. But we just put out an EP that has me playing drums on it, and then we're in the middle of recording another album, like a full length, with both myself and Gabe, because Gabe is I think Gabe's only been in the band for like a year and a half or 2 years maybe. So we're beginning to make recordings with current band members in them. This one that we're in the middle of recording, I'm the recording engineer and all that stuff.
Awesome. Good. I mean, I sometimes find it interesting when you have a few sound guys in a band that are like, nah, we don't do our own stuff. I'm like, what? Why? And yeah. I understand sometimes separating that I want to just focus on this versus having to record and have the pressure of whatever, but keeping it in-house too, you, I think, kind of produce the sound that you want to portray instead of outsourcing it. So
you definitely have a lot of control if you can get it there. It took a lot of time messing with Audacity. I still record with Audacity because I hate myself, but it took a lot of messing with that for like.
It's the Dr. Pepper.
Okay, if we're gonna keep bringing this up, I did not start drinking Dr. Pepper until
I really loathed myself.
When did I quit Culver's? 2015. I worked at Culver's for a year and a half, and we had Dr. Pepper. Employees could drink as much Dr. Pepper as we like. I had never tried it yet, so I was like, oh, Dr. Pepper, I probably don't like it. So I quit and went to my next job. The week after I quit Culver's, my mom's dad gave me a Dr. Pepper, and I'm like, okay, might as well try it. And I'm like, well, this is the best thing I've ever fucking tasted. Too bad I just quit a job where I could have had as much of it as I want for free.
Just Dr. Pepper though at Culver's? Nothing else?
I mean, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and all that stuff.
Sucks. Sorry.
Pepsi's not the best.
RC is better.
First off, Coca-Cola is where it's at. I like the bitterness of that soda, but that's why I like ginger stuff too, and whatever. You know what? I like bitter things.
Well, I overdosed. I used to like Mountain Dew, but now that I know Dr. Pepper exists, I don't drink too much of it anymore.
Gotcha. Yeah, Mountain Dew's kind of horrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're 16 or 18 or something like that, it's But,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You play video games, you eat pizza, and you drink Mountain Dew all night.
I own a copy of GTA, and that's the only video game I have.
Okay. I don't even know what that is. Grand Theft Auto. Okay. I read books and hardly ever play video games, including we don't have TV.
Sorry, I kill people and steal their cars and then pimp them out once I've lost the cops.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know what any of that is.
Context sometimes.
I mean, like.
Cut just that clip. That'll go viral.
So how about merchandise, Pim? What you pimping as far as merch?
I don't know. I think I might have to gain the patience to do merchandise myself.
Yeah.
Also because of the $15 in my account kind of thing.
Make buttons.
That would be cool. I don't have any.
They're not cool enough because apparently they're too large.
Yes,
and everybody's
they are.
really concerned
Because
about that.
they are. They're
because
huge.
everybody in the punk community likes small dicks. That's why. Fuck you all.
How big are these buttons?
They're like 2 inches. That's 2 inches in diameter.
I can do inch.
That's a big dick.
Like that.
As far as buttons are concerned, because everyone's like, that's cute, it's too big.
That's a bozo.
There's a lot of
cookie
unsatisfied
size.
people out there.
I can
Size
do one like
matters.
this.
Like, is that the optimal size?
Apparently,
You're doing like
itty
that
bit.
big.
Wow, Batcher. Tiny itty bitty ones. Yeah, I guess itty bitties is where it's at.
Oh.
Hashtag white people. White men have small cocks. Just kidding. They also can't jump. Just saying. Oh my God, we're on a roll tonight. Woo! Anyways, upcoming shows. Let's talk about that.
I would love to schedule some upcoming shows.
You're completely open.
Yes.
Awesome.
I've been focusing on recording, so I have not any upcoming events with this solo project.
This was just it.
Yeah.
This is your first show of 2020.
First show of the decade.
And our last show here. How cool. You also have a Facebook, yeah? Where people can find you?
Yep.
And are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram all the time.
And I saw that as most of your posts. Is that your main platform that you...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm very visual.
Okay, I was going to ask... Okay, so Instagram is a hard thing for me, kind of like your, GTA. There you go, I got it right. Why is Instagram so appealing? Because I feel as if you can't adequately express what's going on unless you take a series of pictures to show the whole story.
It doesn't matter about the picture. It matters about the hashtags. Hashtag harsh. Hashtag hurt.
From what I've heard recently, hashtags are beginning to matter less and less on the Instagram platform, which sucks because I love using Instagram.
Who said that? Because that's a bunch of bullshit. Because that is how, algorithms are written. Because that's how the fucking internet is coded.
I've heard that the algorithms are changing.
They are changing. You have to actually study what is considered an appropriate tag.
Well, as opposed to focusing specifically on the hashtags, I think it's more so going on what's in the caption,
Okay.
as well as the engagement it gets.
Mm-hmm. That's important too. It's all about trying to figure out how the internet is working to code it. And that's why we ask everybody who comes on, send invites, share the page, share the event thing, go on your Instagram, do all these things. Because what happens is if it pops up all over on various different sites, the internet says, oh, this is significant, and it starts writing code so that when you search something, it pops up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you post it on your Instagram story and people interact with it, then people who follow 300 people who have 300 different Instagram stories, it starts pushing it closer and closer to the front of all of the new updates on the app.
What would you say are some of the challenges as being a solo act?
I have to do everything my fucking self. It's exactly. I have to ask for help if I want it, and I'm not good at that. I have to record or prepare an entire show myself.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first show that I've recorded, especially for the show, every instrument, as opposed to just taking the tracks from the album and.
What went into this?
Oh, there's so much went into this. I rehearsed more than 3 times for this show. It really shows just how far I've come since the last show.
Why is this so significant as opposed to playing at, say, Bremen or Quarters?
Everything.
That doesn't even make sense with the question I asked.
It makes a lot of sense.
This is significant because I don't know anyone who's played at these venues here in Milwaukee, here in Kenosha. They know Jess the ska kid. It's a big deal,
You do?
Yeah. I mean, what was it? My first gig with Beaker was Punk Fest a couple years ago, and at the local, and the Jess the Ska Kid poster was right there in front of the clock, and it's just
pompous. I'm like 23 flavors. See? That was our first year doing that, and it was on a whim. I messaged Josh and I wrote him an email. Well, first I didn't even message Josh. I was searching out festivals because I was like, maybe we can get press passes and just interview the bands. Mm-hmm. So I went to MilwaukeePunkFest.org. It said, contact us. I wrote up this very long email about who I am, our philosophy, our mission, and we got contacted almost immediately. And I was like, whoa, okay, maybe this will work. And so We talked via email a few times. We figured out that Josh from Billy Dreamer was that. We discussed how we were going to roll out a sort of promotion for this. And he has been wonderful as far as support goes.
Yeah, he's a good guy to work with.
And it was great having the opportunity and still continuing to have the opportunity to do that because Josh very much aligns with what we want to do. This year is super exciting. I don't think have permission to talk about all of the cool that is going to be this 10, but I'm excited because it continues to grow and it continues to try to expand and find kind of loopholes that I think are barriers to what underground music is. So I'm excited, and hopefully, because he's busy, get your shit together, Josh, so that we can release this shit and do it proper. Because it's already February, motherfucker, and, that date come quick. So, this year will be exciting. Pay attention. I'm sure to submit. Do that thing. I mean, it'll be fun. And there's going to be ska this year. There's actually going to be fucking ska. Anyways, I digress. This has been Wolf. I know that we're at the top of the hour. If people who watched tonight want CDs, can they purchase them from you online? Bandcamp, how can people acquire your music?
Just listen to it on whatever platform you want as much as you can for free. If you see me in person at a show and you...
Wait a second, timeout, wrong answer.
No,
$15?
No.
People can't say, hey, I want to purchase a CD here?
I have not yet set up the ability to purchase a physical copy of it online.
Okay.
Yet. I'm working on it, but, give me a second. I was diagnosed with ADHD at like 8, so, that shit doesn't go away. I've still got a terrible attention span.
Okay.
But, listen to it for free as much as you want. And if you see me in person at any one of the hopefully numerous shows I'm about to schedule, and if you think I'm great, then you can buy it. Yeah.
And as always, directed towards the YouTube. Go to YouTube, share his videos.
I've got 2 music videos coming up in the next week or so.
I was gonna say, don't you also have a few that are currently out?
Let's talk about that for another 20 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. I released my first 2.
How about 23, motherfucker? How about 23 minutes?
I will defend this beautiful soda.
Full circle. Oh. Full circle. It's Dr. Pepper. The bane of my youth, Dr. Pepper. It usually had cigarettes in it too. Dr. Pepper. It's what your mom threw at you, Dr. Pepper. Anyway. See? Full circle.
Anyway.
Go to YouTube, check out Wolf. Also available on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram. If you're going to take away anything from this, YouTube and Instagram would be the 2 main platforms he'd like you to focus on. Check out our page for fests. If you're open to traveling, the Anacoustics Music Festival is in Ohio, and that currently is taking submissions. Punk the Burbs is going to start taking submissions. Milwaukee Punk Fest is going to start taking submissions. I found out about a new fest in Pennsylvania called Camp Punksylvania. Hey, it's a camping 3-day fest where there's paintball, camping, grilling, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff and music the whole 3 days. There's Supernova Ska Fest coming up in June, and in May there's Ska by Ska West. I've covered a lot of music festival, and Summerfest is coming up. Oh, and Marty has his fest too, Glacier Music Fest. So, holy shit, pay attention. Without further ado, I think we are done for this evening. And we travel on into our new adventure, which is moving this weekend, so that next week we'll have Animal Factory as the first new show in the new basement. So, thanks for joining. We'll catch you next Tuesday. We'll be crying and sad and tired. Okay, thanks. Bye.